What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here's my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. What I'm going to be talking about in this episode is it's actually going to be a very morbid topic for this episode, and it's kind of sad too. But it is important, but it's really sad and really morbid. What I'm going to be talking about is, I'm not sure if you're all aware of my alternate channel, John Doe Appeals. I have it listed as a separate channel on my YouTube page, and what it is it's more of like an activism channel. I guess you can call it that. It's about identifying John Does, and what a John Doe is when someone is found dead, like a person's found dead, and they don't know who they are, they list them as Jane Doe if it's a girl, John Doe if it's a guy, and if they don't know who they are and they don't know where to return their bodies to, or they don't have their family members to inform them of what happened, they list them as John Does. And there is one channel on YouTube called Jane Doe Appeals. It's this one woman who uploads all these videos of unidentified deceased females. And I asked, why isn't there a John Doe Appeals channel? And she said that she doesn't have time to make one. So I decided to make one myself called John Doe Appeals. And what it is I upload each video. Each video has a picture, a post-mortem picture of the guy in the video. That means his morgue or autopsy photo. They don't look bad, really that bad at all. They're still recognizable, so it's nothing scary to look at all. But it is really sad seeing them like that and everything. And the whole point is, I have all the information about them, where they were found, what they were wearing, how they died, if I can get that, anything distinguishing about them, and also the contact information for their investigator or the morgue office, which is keeping their body, or who's ever in charge of helping them get identified. So, why I have that channel open is, you don't have to know exactly what happened to these guys at all. You could speculate, like watch the video and type in, oh, I think this happened to this guy, I think this guy came from here. That's the whole point, because you might get something right. It might actually be true. It's not like if you type something in and comment on the video, it's not like a whole SWAT team is going to come out and try to track you down and ask you questions like, how do you know of what happened to this guy? Don't be worried about that. Plus, if you actually do know something about what happened to these guys, all information can be submitted anonymously. But the whole channel is owned by me. The channel's owned by me. If you get a reply from the guy John Doe Appeals, it's me replying to you. So don't worry about anything. And a lot of the web forms to helping identify unidentified deceased people, I'm not sure if they do, but I don't think they really like for people to speculate. But on my channel, it is okay. Like, you can type in what you guessed happened to these people, to these guys, what you guessed was going on in these guys' life, and what you think of what happened to them, to how they ended up deceased and unidentified. You can type that in if you want to. No one's going to get mad at you for that. Yeah, just wanted to let you guys know, because it's important, because you might actually recognize one of them, or whatever, because all it takes is one person to see these pictures of these guys and to help get them identified, because no one should have to lay in a coffin or in a graveyard under an unmarked grave and their family needs answers too. They need to know what happened to their uncle, to their brother, to their son, or whatever, because they should have some closure about that. It's important for the family members, but it's also important for the deceased for the deceased men too, so they're returned home, so their family knows what happened to them and everything. Even though they are dead, it still matters though. So I'm gonna show you some of the guys I have on uploaded so far. Some of the John Doe cases I have. Just warning you, it is kind of sad, and I do have pictures of them. I have reconstruction pictures and morgue pictures. None of the morgue pictures are gross to look at, though. It's nothing gory or nothing violent, but they are sad to look at. So, first is this guy. He died on December 25th, 1977 in Floyd County, Indiana. And he was an African American man who was 6 feet tall, 155 pounds to 175 pounds was his estimated weight. He was 18 to 25 years old. Here's a picture of him, a reconstruction picture. This isn't his morgue photo or anything. It actually makes him look older than what they guessed he was. So here it is. So that picture actually makes him look older than what they guessed his age really was. So I'm not really sure how accurate that is. And also, here's his morgue photo, the picture taken of him after he was found dead. Here's what he looked like when they first found him. Okay, sorry that image doesn't really have good quality, but that's the only one we have available of him. So, he does look like he could be about 18 to 25, but that's just an estimated age. He could be older. And his cause of death was, let me see, I have it listed on the site. The victim was located in a drain culvert at SR 335 and US 150 by two hunters in Floyd County, Indiana on December 25th, 1977. The victim had no identification on his person and never been identified. Cause of death was a gunshot to the head. So, he was obviously murdered by someone. So, yeah, it's very sad. So, I have a video for him uploaded on John Doe Appeals with all the contact information, so you can, if you think you might recognize that guy, you can go contact the person in charge of identifying him. Next, there's this guy. This boy died on June 3rd, 1978. That's the date he was found. And he was found in Long Beach, California. His estimated age was 17 years old to 23 years old. That's an estimated age. He could be older, he could be younger. His hair color was brown. Eye color was hazel. Estimated height was 5'7". And estimated weight was 130 pounds. And I actually have a picture of him. This is a post-mortem picture. It was taken after he was found dead in the autopsy room. It's nothing gory, but it's pretty sad. Let me show it to you right now. That's what he looked like. This one is actually really sad, I think it is, because he looks a lot like the character from my movie, Knifed 1. Well, from my Knifed movies. He looks a lot like Briary Rose from my Knifed movies. Except he didn't have his hair cut short like Briary Rose does. He had long shoulder-length hair. His cause of death was he was strangled to death. And he was found laying on the pavement of Division Street, half block east of Cornish Street in Long Beach, California. So his body was found like right on a street in the city. He had a 3/8 of an inch scar right above his right eyebrow. He had a slim build with fair skin, fair pale skin. He also had a stamp on his hand that read paid. Like a stamp on his hand that read paid, like ones you get from the fair, so they know that you paid to get in. So most likely he attended a fair or something. And he had clothes on and everything. I have a video about him on my John Doe Appeals channel, so if you want to learn more information about him, just go check on my John Doe Appeals channel. There's a video about him, John Doe, 1978, Long Beach, California. Next, there's this guy. This one's also another sad one. His cause of death is unknown, but he died hours before he was found. He was found, victim was located in the Los Angeles riverbed, north of the Pata Street overpass trestle in Bell. So he was found, like, washed up on shore. I don't know if he drowned or not, but here's what he looked like. Here's a post-mortem picture of him taken in the autopsy room. It's not gross or violent at all, but it's kind of sad. Here he is. Okay, so his estimated age is 15 to 25 years old. He was 5'8" and he was 129 pounds. His hair color is light brown, short and thin, and his eye colors were brown. He has not had his appendix removed, and this is kind of tragic, but his dental records are available, his fingerprints are available, but his DNA is not available. I read this on the website, and on the web form for helping identify John Does, I was asked, like, one person was asking, why can't they get DNA from this John Doe? And they said that Los Angeles County, when they find someone dead and unidentified, they cremate all their John Does. Like, this is way back then before they had DNA, but back then they used to cremate all their Jane and John Does. So it's impossible to get DNA from this guy. And I typed in on the web form, they seriously did that? That's really messed up. That's what I typed in. I said, but couldn't they go into the grave he's buried in? Because he's actually buried in a common grave. So if they throw everyone's ashes in a common grave, only separated by the year they die, well, that's not good because you can't really find their ashes, but it's still possible. I asked, couldn't you get DNA from their ashes or something? And one person typed in, even if he wasn't buried in a common grave, it's still impossible to get DNA from ashes because the heat destroys DNA because it burns everything. And then I asked, well, what about his dental records and his teeth? Couldn't they go in and find one of his teeth in the common grave? Because I have heard of people being cremated and their teeth haven't been burned. Their teeth are still left in condition, in like scorched condition, but they're still like left and not like not deteriorated to ashes at all. And another person typed in, even when the heat still destroys the DNA, even if the teeth aren't burned to ashes at all. And I think that's very unfortunate and really sad. But I still think that they might be able to get DNA from him. If they have his clothes archived, they probably might be able to get DNA from those. And here's a picture of what they think he looked like while he was alive. It's a reconstruction, computer-generated image. Well, there's actually two of them. I'll show both of them to you. Here they are. So that's what they think he looked like while he was alive. If you look at his picture, his post-mortem picture, you can kind of see bruising around his upper head, and even to the... what side of his eye would that be? That would be the left side of his face, his left. Well, on the right side, actually, in that picture, and right and left, actually, you can see bruises on his upper eye, and even some bruising on his mouth, so I don't think he died accidentally. I think someone might have killed that boy, and might have threw his body in the river, but it probably washed up on shore, and it's really sad that they can't get DNA from him, and it's really sad that someone killed him, too. So, yeah, that's him. I have a video of him uploaded, too. You can find that on the John Doe Appeals channel. You can find all of these on the John Doe Appeals channel. And there's another one. This one's also really sad. This is Prince George County John Doe. He was a young man found dead in Maryland in 1973. He was found on December 6, 1973, so a day after my birthday, but I wasn't born in 1973, so long before I existed. He was found in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. He died hours before he was found, and he was 5 feet tall and 105 pounds, and his estimated age was 15 to 20 years old. it says right here that his cause of death was unknown, but if you look at his post-mortem picture, you can tell right away that he was killed by someone. I'll show that to you right now. It's really sad, but here he is. That's what he looked like when they found him. You can see bruises and dents all over his face. That could be acne, but I highly doubt it is. I think that might be bruises or it might be blood or something, and you can just tell by the look on his face in that picture that. And you can even, if you look at his neck, like around his chin, you can see like a scar on his neck or something. He was definitely killed by someone. He's probably strangled or something, or punched in the face. But that's really sad, and it says his estimated age is 15 to 20 years old, but I definitely think he might be younger than that. He might be 12, 13, or 14. He might even be 11, but that's a little too... I don't think he's that young, but it is possible. He died in 1973. That's when he was found, December 1973. I have a video of him on my John Doe Appeals channel, too. And last... There are more on my channel, but this is the last one I'm going to talk about for this video. Last is the Delafield, Waukesha County, Wisconsin John Doe. This one kind of hit home because I actually live in Wisconsin. This man died on September 14th, 1977. He was found, well, he wasn't really found. He died because he was being chased by police. He was driving a stolen car from Gurney Mills, Illinois, and the police were chasing after him, and he crashed into a tree, and he died right afterwards. And even though he was breaking the law, committing a crime, stealing someone's car, I still felt really sorry for him, because it's all these cases are just really sad. His estimated age was 17 to 30 years old. He was between the ages of 17 to 30 years old, but he could have been older, he could have been younger, but I'm definitely thinking he's on the older end of the spectrum. He was a male, obviously. His height was 5'8" to 6'1". His weight was 145 pounds to 170 pounds. That's just a estimate. His hair color was brown and cut in a military style, and his eye color was hazel or brown eyes. And he had a large amount of chest hair. That's why I put him closer to the age of, closer to 30 or older than what they're assuming, or on the old end of what their estimate is. Here's a couple pictures of him. The first picture, right here, it's not very good because the flash is too bright and you can't really see him. But you can see kind of more through the profile view of him. There's what he looked like from the side view. So, this picture's really sad, but that's what he looked like. He died from crashing the car into the tree, and it is really sad. So, he looks a lot older. He definitely looks like he's on the older end. But I wouldn't think he would be too old because he was committing a crime and driving a stolen car. Most older people don't commit crimes like that, so that's just a guess I'm making. So he could be between the ages of, I'd say he's like 24 to 28 or 29 or 30. So, yeah, I'm guessing he's... Yeah, I'd definitely go with 27 or 28. That's probably how old he is. He died in Wisconsin, and when I read about this case, I actually felt really bad for him. In Delafield, Wisconsin, that's not really far from me, to be honest with you. It's only like 20 minutes away, 10 minutes away, I think. What I actually wanted to do at first was drive out to Delafield and go visit his grave, or go visit the cemetery he was buried at. But I read on the online forums, because I was asking, what cemetery is he buried at? I want to go visit his grave and like come with my iPod Touch and record a YouTube video there and show you all where he was buried and show you the road he died on. But one person typed in that the medical examiner exhumed his body in early 2015 to obtain DNA, and now they're keeping his remains in the morgue until he gets identified. And I was just like, oh, so much for that. But, yeah, it's really sad what happened to all these guys. I feel bad for all of them, because no one deserves to die without a name and be away from their family and be laying in a coffin far away from home and no one knows what happened to them. Well, on a more positive note, it does have something to do with this topic, but in my series, The Rising Dead, which is coming soon to YouTube, one of the main characters on the show is actually based off, well, he's not based off one of these guys, but he actually resembles one of these guys, like he's modeled after one of these guys. One of the main characters on The Rising Dead, his name is Russell, and I have a picture of him. He's based off the John Doe, which was found in 1979 in California, in Los Angeles, California. The one they couldn't get DNA from because they cremated his remains. Here's a side-by-side comparison of them. So I made him look a little different. He looks a lot older in the Sims 2 picture, but he's going to be a character on The Rising Dead. That's my own way of that's my own little way of memorializing him. So yeah, some of you guys might think that's really weird, but I don't know. Yeah. So make sure to subscribe to John Doe Appeals. I actually wanted to do wiki articles about each of these guys on my wiki site that I just created recently. I haven't got the chance to do that yet, but I will when I get the chance to. But I'm not really sure how I would do that because I'd have multiple pages named John Doe, so I might come up with fake names to name them myself. So that's probably what I might do. Or I might have John Doe #1, or Long Beach John Doe, or John Doe 1977, John Doe 1978, 79, 1973. That's probably what I might do. So, yeah, sorry for the morbid and depressing topic. So please make sure to subscribe to my John Doe Appeals. Please make sure to comment on the videos too. Share your thoughts. Tell me what you think, what runs through your mind. What do you think happened to each of these guys, and how do you think they all ended up like this? Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment and share your thoughts. And don't forget to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. And don't forget to subscribe to my John Doe Appeals channel. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Peace out, people.